Let us discuss the brain science meditators rarely talk about. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we have evolved to automatically access both the tippy top as well as the very bottom of our spinal cord. These two regions, working as a team, function as the core of our parasympathetic nervous system. It functions antithetically to our dorsolateral prefrontal cortex in that instead of causing us to actively analyze, it does the opposite. It helps us to passively rest to the point that that which we watched during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, less defining, and as non-graspable as a vast empty void. It would seem that a simile is only as effective as it is relatable. Therefore, we must ask the question, what? What is a real-world example of a non-graspable, vast empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful, cloudless morn, which, although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel non-graspable to the hand? And so we see that whether we are discussing emptiness or whether we are discussing no self, these are merely metaphors to describe the fleeting experience latent within each exhalation. This is the Dzogchen Semde Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For multiple decades, I spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I could be of service to you. It is Obi-Wan Kenobi early Wednesday morning. Come. Let us meditate like a Jedi. Do remember that the moment you have a specific question about the philosophies or techniques that support meditation, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window, for I tend to check for questions about once every 14 minutes or so. Well, whoopsie. Well, that happened. Let's continue. A useful prerequisite to meditation is for us to gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at our crown. A useful way to do that is for us to employ the Pasadi Mudra, also known as meditation gesture, wherein we use the tip of our left little finger. Whoops, we use the tip of our left index finger to support the lower knuckle of our right index finger, palms up in our lap. This is what I call the Swiss Army knives of mudras or gestures. It is helpful when we feel ourselves on the precipice of a meltdown. It is useful at night when we're lying in bed, preparing to fall asleep. And it is useful when we find ourselves face to face with death, the ultimate nap. Additionally, it's useful to help us count our first repetition of the essence of mindfulness and meditation, wherein during our inhalation, every time we passively notice air enter our nostrils, we silently and mentally recite the verb watch. And every time we feel air exit our nostrils, or I should say every time we passively notice air exiting our nostrils, we silently and mentally recite the verb rest. This can be described as a round. And in Bengali crease counting, we proceed in terms of 13 rounds, which in all actuality is really 1 plus 12 rounds. That'll make more sense in a minute or two. So we keep track of our first round by using the meditation gesture. And now for the plus 12 rounds. So we bring our attention to our right hand. Every time, let's go over here. Every time we silently and mentally recite the verb watch as we inhale, we advance our right thumb, beginning at the lower set of creases of our right little finger, and working our way to the higher set of creases on our right index finger. This will make more sense as we practice together. Let us do so now. Let's move a little bit this way. So counting our 1 plus 12 rounds, or our 1 plus 12 inhalations, took just a little bit more than 1 minute. Therefore, if we would like to meditate for an additional 13 or so minutes, I would suggest that we count additional sets of 1 plus 12 inhalations. To facilitate that, let us direct our attention to our left hand. Let us set the tip of our left thumb upon the lower set of creases of our left little finger. And now perform our single round of watch rest. And to keep track of the next 12 rounds, let us return our attention to our right hand together. to keep track of our next set of 1 plus 12 repetitions, we return our attention to our left hand and advance our left thumb. And so now that you have the basic idea of how we count multiple sets of 1 plus 12 inhalations each, let us return our hands palms up to our lap. Let us adjust our spine by bending to the right, to the left, to the rear, to the front, a bit of a gentle twist, and reverse. And hopefully our spine should find a modicum of equilibrium or balance. If this feels overwhelming, remember, repetition is the mother of skill. Join me approximately or almost once every 12 hours for about a week or two, and this entire system you can master. Remember, this is not concentration. We're not striving to control, we're not indulging our rigid or controlling tendencies to choose what we perceive, emote, intend, reason, recall, or imagine. We're just going to go along for the ride. We're going to practice in a manner that is vulnerable, passive, visceral, random, and fleeting. checking for questions. We now shift gears. We now gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in our chest. The easiest way to do that is for us to practice the Sati Mudra, also known as the mindfulness gesture. To do so is simple. We merely use the tip of our left middle finger to support the lower knuckle of our right middle finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so is an excellent way for us to count the first repetition of mindfulness meditation. Each time we passively notice our chest swell with breath, let us silently and mentally recite the verb feel. Each time we passively notice our chest subtly sinking as gently we exhale, let us silently and mentally recite the verb rest. Feel is mindfulness, rest is meditation. We do not force it. We merely play with these verbs, not to coerce our autonomic nervous system to do our bidding. We don't have to. It's already feeling and resting in harmony with our breathing. Then why? Why do we play with these verbs? Simple. To remind our will, to remind our volition, to remind our intention, to take a relaxing break from the exhausting habit of competing against, or of actively competing against our own autonomic nervous system, and instead to cooperate with it, vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. We play with sets of 1 plus 12 repetitions. Having completed our 1 repetition, we turn our attention to the 12 repetitions by fiddling about with our right hand, advancing our right thumb during each inhalation, beginning at the bottom of our right little finger, concluding near the top of our right index finger. To keep track of our next collection of our next set of 1 plus 12 repetitions, we return to our left hand, touch the tip of our thumb to the lower set of creases. And now count an additional 12. Now let us rest our hands palms up in our lap. Having sat the better part of an hour, it may feel refreshing for us to perform approximately 8 repetitions of senior citizen squat thrusts. If that sounds appealing to you, you're welcome to join me. Oh boy. All right. Let's press the balls of our feet on the corners of our yoga mat so it doesn't slip out from under us, because that's no fun. Half squat. As we walk our way forward, hands close to each other. Let's articulate our arms. Let's walk back. Let's press our heels to the floor. Full squat. Press the sky. And now we're ready for a second repetition. Full speed. All right. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. For Meditate Like a Jedi is made possible thanks to the generosity of viewers just like you. In approximately 9.5 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's dusk practice of Meditate Like a Jedi. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.